Yes, and welcome to another side episode of the Jump in the Turnstile. I'm Jezbot.
I'm Timmy Taco.
Hey, I'm Sean Enough.
Yeah, and here we go again for another round.
Oh, really? What's going on here?
Round 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Okay.
We're just going to do a quick catch up. I've got some notes here, so we might as well just Mouse at Night. Mouse at Night.
Oh, the mouse is back, is he?
Well, here's the thing. Every month I've got to recharge me Ring security.
Ooh, okay.
Security cam that goes up the front. Now, you should be getting this for Trevor. It's security cams, right? Anyway, it sends you a text message going, recharge your thing. So I unscrew it off the front door and I put it in the kitchen and I plug it in.
Yep.
But so that when I'm walking past it, it doesn't go off and go off.
Sure.
I turn it face
The wall.
the tiles, right?
Yeah.
We go to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. Bling, bling. The alarm goes off.
It's facing the wall, though.
Cass is like woken up. She doesn't know that it's facing the wall. She goes, "There's someone at the door. There's someone at the door." And I go, "Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean?" She goes, "Like the fucking ring just went off." And I went, "Oh no, it's in the kitchen. It's in the kitchen.
Oh, that's
They're in the kitchen."
Oh, that's fucked up.
Right. So I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I've got to get up now and
Yeah.
do the circuit."
Well, it's only 5 steps to the kitchen,
yeah,
so
it's not a big house. Thanks for reminding me. And
What do I do? Call Batman.
yeah, call Batman.
The real one.
get an extension.
So I creep out to the kitchen. Well, the dogs would have barked if that bloody.
Oh, the doggos would have gone wild.
Gone wild.
They killed the dogs.
They got the dogs.
I'm
They
feeling,
killed the dogs.
I'm feeling,
They killed
I'm
the
feeling a
dogs.
ghost story coming up. It feels
So
like.
well, here we go. But I didn't know. But then I get into the kitchen and I realise it's turned around, and there's a little gap. And so what's happened is, I think we got the misos walking past, doing their little scurry past the Ring security camera on me fucking bench,
Right.
and sounding off the alarm.
Mm.
So
Mission possible.
here's the thing, right? It was either a ghost mouse or a real mouse. There's
Right.
no mouse shit anywhere.
Okay.
It's like there's usually scattings. Scat? There's usually scattings.
Mousey mouse.
Yeah, but no signs of them. But like ghost mouse, real mouse.
You decide. Maybe it's a. Did you find out if it was a mouse though? Well, what else could it be?
I'm gonna bring it back inside because
You
it
did
does
say
have
the batteries
it does
were
have
going
night vision. So I'll set it up in the kitchen because I'm finding like when I did my vacuum and I vacuum underneath the fridge, I'm finding little bits of dog food, which means
It's being pulled that.
they're doing a stockpile like little squirrels with nuts.
Yeah.
Saving up for the winter.
Yeah,
Those pesky misos are all over you.
you
in
can't
your
stop them.
business.
It might not be the mice, because I remember hearing this a couple of months ago. Concerns about the Ring security systems, and
Oh, no.
I think you find that actually the Ring security system, their major investors were like top rappers like Nas. And,
Okay.
they made millions and millions of dollars off, and they've sold their shares now. I think.
Of course,
but,
yes.
like
So you
Nas
got
and
beats.
Jay-Z
You got
and-
beats by Dre, Doors by Nas. What do you got?
But I just looked up some quick articles. I knew there was
You
concerns.
got salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
So that's the only one. The only rappers I know.
You got iced tea. Forget it.
Yeah. It's a milk product.
Yeah.
It's a drink. Iced tea.
But I just read here that organisations raised major concern over Ring's lack of effort in protecting the data and security of users.
I bloody knew it.
Okay,
Because
so
the data is the new oil. So
Yeah, it
if
is.
you've got something that you can...
No,
that
it's
can
the new printer ink.
yeah, oh yeah, we did. We
Yeah, we did this.
established that last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's worth it. It's worth a lot to whoever can gather it and sell it.
Yeah.
And
So are they opening up my fucking camera and watching me do my gardening and shit?
well, apparently Ring hasn't really made enough effort to protect the data and security of users, including permitting multiple login attempts that allowed bad actors to take control of people's Ring cameras. So, you know,
okay, wait. So bad actors. So is this like the out of work actors?
It's
and
like
now...
Harry Connick Juniors.
So what? So is that likened to like you can get a GPS with Snoop Dogg's voice? Now you can get a doorbell that's a direct line to like I don't know.
no, I think it just means that like Jezza said, you don't know if you have privacy or if Gwyneth Paltrow's watching.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I got-
otherwise she's on the other end of the line having a goop.
I got myself a a pet cube. I went into Harvey Norman, retail fucking, man, what do you call it when you...
Retail
Shop when you go
Retail
shopping.
therapy.
Yeah.
And so I got myself a pet cube. So it's like a infrared at night little box that you set up and it just watches the doggos. And
Okay.
so I wanted to see who's pissing on me fucking... Why they're pissing inside.
Okay.
I think it's lightning and shit, but... I always wondered, geez, I think it's pretty easy to hack into this little... Have I just set up a little spy cube?
You absolutely have. Is it? Can you look at it from your phone?
Yeah, we could
Well,
look
you're
at it.
fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Look, I only use it for when... I'm not going to give you my whole security system.
Please don't.
No.
You're a fascist of a pet owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Pet owner? I thought that was something else for a minute then.
All right, here's
Pet owner?
something else.
Pet owner? No?
Here's something else, Tim.
owner.
Move
Yeah.
away. Move away. From
Sure.
that. My gardening tip. Well, it's not a tip, but I wanted to do a product pitch. So I want to pitch
Pitch
that
that
bitch. Yeah, and it's because I'm starting to grow peppers. Mince me peppers.
Okay.
I wanted to call
Got
it.
your green. You got your red.
Yeah, you got your green and red and
You
yellow.
got your mild.
Sergeant Sultan's Lonely Pepper brand.
Sergeant Sultan's Lonely Pepper brand, presented by Salt and Pepper.
That's Salt and
Yes.
Pepper's product.
Yeah, okay, maybe it is. Or I was just going to say,
What a spice, what a spice,
What a
mighty good spice.
Yes, he is. Yeah, it works.
or it's an ingredient, and then when you need the recipe, it's super doop, super doop.
Is this our salt and pepper bit? Right. Type 5.
Type 5 on salt and pepper.
Hey, you ever heard about those salt and pepper? You remember salt and pepper from the
Remember salt and pepper? No.
No, we don't.
Shit.
Who's salt and pepper?
Shit.
I loved Salt and Pepper in primary school, and in hindsight, that wasn't one of my best musical choices.
That were great.
We were talking about
Fuck
this
you.
the other day. So, Tim, you bought yourself a Ferrente tape, which you're ashamed of, and I'm ashamed of my Ugly Kid Joe tape. that
Oh,
I had.
actually, I had Ugly Kid Joe single.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah.
But
Child
this
Right
says,
just the other day.
won't you be my neighbor? Do,
Yeah, that was
the B-side.
Okay. Was that the B-side?
My child arrived just the other day.
Oh,
Came
yeah.
into the world.
Then I found out he was gay.
Now, what's up with which would be fine. It'd be fine. What's with the cover? Like, you're allowed to do a cover song. Do you have to pay the artist to do the cover?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about that. That it's a breach of copyright if you do the song exactly like it. Like if you do the song exactly the same.
It sounds like the Beatles, Paul McCartney.
They wrote the song, you sing the melody, sing the theme tune, you play the theme tune, and you sing it exactly the same, right?
Yep.
You're allowed to do that. So let's just say, for lack of a better artist, Madonna comes out, and she wants to be a material girl,
Yep.
right? In a material world.
Yep.
And then you could hear that song, come straight out, put it out.
So Kamal could do it.
Kamal could do it, but he has to do it note for note, exactly the same. Now,
no,
if he
no
changes
scratchy,
it at all,
no
if he goes,
scratchies in it, extra drums.
if he says, "And I am a material girl," copyright, cross, X,
Because I'm a material boy.
out.
I'm an Indian material boy. was he Indian?
I think
Kamal?
so. Yeah, maybe.
Because I'm an Indian.
He might have been Sri Lankan,
Yes.
maybe. I don't know.
Which is different.
So, where are we going with?
Well, I'm just doing little bits. I'm reading out my notes. Don't be fooled
No,
by
so
the...
basically, if you change the song,
yes.
it's a breach of copyright. Go.
Okay, the second notes. This is more on the hip-hop tip.
Oh yeah, this is
Okay.
my field, dude.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I've got.
Yes.
I'm still Jezbot. Right? Because I went myself. I got up this morning and I woke up with inspiration to get some bloody big rocks. Because
Yeah.
we've been doing that job in Templestowe.
Yeah.
With big retaining wall. There's
Yeah.
leftover rocks, volcanic rocks. So I've been dealing with my rocks all week. Handling my rocks. And I thought, geez, Sunday morning,
Rock fever.
I'm going to get up, and I had rock fever. And so I went and got these two massive bloody... You saw them.
Yeah, they were big boulders.
Yeah.
I
So
think
what were you
think-
doing this morning, Jez? Were you getting your rocks off?
Yeah.
Off the truck.
Off me,
the
yeah.
truck, yeah.
Yeah. When does a rock become a boulder?
As soon as you need to use Egyptian-style methods of moving said boulders.
Oh, okay. So what? So
With
what,
ramps.
boulder rolls.
Well, I got the pipes, man. I got the pipes, the leverage with a brick and a iron bar, and then I put some pipes under it, and I just roll.
Yeah,
the
but
bastards.
like how
slaves.
what's an abyss kind of question.
How deep is it? Yeah.
How deep is an abyss? When does it start turn from a hole
just a
into
deep
like,
hole into an abyss?
into an abyss, right? At which point do you transition?
It's 40,000 feet.
Right. When does a rock bold?
Yeah.
When's the bolding point?
Yeah.
What's the bolding point of a rock?
Sort of off subject, sort of on subject, but it reminds me of a story
Okay, don't answer that.
that was written in a song by an old story writer artist called Harry Chapin. And my old man showed me this years and years ago when I was really, really young. But it's a poignant story, and the story's about a rock or a boulder. And I think talking how we are, it's surpassed rock status. It's definitely a boulder.
Okay.
Mind you,
Old boulder?
Mind you, in hindsight, we talk about so like a really big rock, something that's you could imagine rolling down a hill, that goes to boulder status. But if something like for example, the largest rock that we know of, Uluru, no one's ever called that a boulder.
No. And then at what point when a boulder's rolling down a hill, if it collects something else on the way down, like a tree stump or something like that, is that an avalanche instantly?
It's a
no,
boulder.
Do we like look out?
It's like
fall rocks.
It's like a dry avalanche.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what you call that.
Because you can be in a
My
green,
wife.
You could be in a green. I see what you've done there.
Yeah, thank you.
You can be in a green desert. So like a date farm or a monoculture, like just a one crop.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a loveless marriage.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, back to the story. This rock sits above a small town, perched on a mountain, and a young boy, he swears he hears the rock moving in the middle of the night, and he woke in a start, and he told the town the rock is going to fall on us, and they said, You're mad. That rock's been up there forever, and it's never going to fall. And he kept trying to tell the townspeople that he swears he heard it moving. He heard it moving.
Yeah.
And the town ended up making a laughing stock of him.
Oh, you got your classic
Boy who cried wolf. Boy who
scenario.
cried boulder.
Basically, he cried boulder, and everybody treated him like he was crying wolf. And you're a madman.
Yeah.
And they laughed him out of the town.
Yeah.
Basically had very little to do. Ostracised him.
Yeah, last laugh was on them when the fucking boulder fell on them.
Well, so one night he woke and he heard it creaking again. The rock is definitely moving. So he hiked up the mountain to the top of the mountain on his own. Everybody else was asleep in the middle of the night, and there was no one to help him. So he climbed to the top of the mountain as the rock was moving more and more. And as he got to the top, it creaked, one really loud creak again. But what he did is he ran to the edge of the rock and tried to hold it back from the town. Obviously he's a little man compared to a large rock. And the rock moved and started rolling. And then it rolled on top of him and crushed him. But it was his presence that stopped the rock from rolling onto the town.
He diverted the lava stream, from the head in the town.
But the irony was that the rock never did hit the town. He died saving the town, and they never knew that the rock was actually rolling.
Okay, because I was
going to crush them.
And that's
Okay, 'cause
how
I thought
rock
it was-
and roll was invented.
yes,
It's a little known fact.
it was
His name was Johnny.
I was going to say.
His name was Johnny Be Good.
I was going to say the rock. He gets all the way up to the top, but he's inches away from saving them, and the rock falls and crushes the entire town. And the only survivors, they get out of the wreckage and they look up, and he's just there going, "Oh!" On the thing, they're going, Johnny, who has motive for pushing that fucking rock because we ostracized him.
Yeah.
He done it.
I think
No,
it's.
I'm trying to save you.
I think it would be more like
right.
Kill the people you love.
that. My favorite author and book ever written is Flat Stanley, and the boy that gets crushed by a poster.
The only book Jeremy's ever read.
Yeah, and I would say that the boulder would make
Goosebumps.
him into a fucking Flat Stanley scenario. To be honest with you,
Go underneath doors and
I shouldn't bring this up, but I
Don't.
will. We almost lost a very close friend of ours last week at work with me. We almost had a tragedy on site
what's that?
where you almost died.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that would have crushed your head open
But I am swift.
like a
to the-
tiger. You
Yeah.
did. You did. You were ninja. You were...
I caught it.
4 metre steel post. RHS, 90 mil. 90 by 90, 2 mil. Right?
Yep.
If it wasn't an inch.
If we're chucking it in the hole, we're, getting the levels and stuff, and widening the hole and stuff, and so I take the pole out and I lean it up against the gutter of the house.
Well, we both leant it up.
Yeah. And then I get out, clean the hole out, and then I fucking back into it a little bit, and it slides down the gutter, and I'm going,
I was on my phone a second earlier. I'm just going, boom, put in my thing.
Lucky.
He's going, tag it! And I looked up and I'm just going, whoosh, and it caught the pole.
Caught it.
Well, because it was...
Caught it. It was going to crush. It would have hit him far square in the far.
Well, before it, because it was going down, sliding down the gutter.
Yeah.
And then as it came off the edge of the gutter, that was the space that was actually falling. The rest of it was just resting in a slide. So it wasn't going that fast. So I was able to just catch it.
It didn't go full terminal velocity.
And to be honest, it was...
Yeah, but if you...
Workplace safety.
All's well that ends well, fellas.
Yes, correct.
Have you got your own insurance? Don't answer that.
Here we go.
Because that would have crushed my bank account. As well as a
crushed the
pretty
competition.
little skull.
Crushed the competition. That's
neither here nor there.
no, that's right. But we all survive these things, don't we?
We try to. We try to
get
it's one day at a time survival.
Mm-hmm.
I've come up with a few survival methods. I need my long life food storage.
UHT milk.
I'm starting to think about buying grain in bulk and burying the grain.
Mice.
In like
mice.
Burying it with a full mouse-proof tub,
and
then like a bulk rice.
Imagine that.
Bulk rice.
Yes, and then you get your house renovated in 5-10 years time. We sell it. The next people renovate it. And
dig up the garden and
where the fuck was the bowling ball under the house?
Yeah.
Why is there a tub of rice buried under the house?
Yeah. But if they're smart enough, they'll find my silver. Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Okay, because we never did have that rice crisis.
At Rices? No, we didn't. They said that we were... Remember the first toilet paper, scramble for toilet paper?
Yeah. Oh, you've been there.
Wipe me bits.
Yeah.
Yes, also, with you, the rice. They did the rice. They took the rice as well. And the pasta.
The pasta. They took big
the
bags of rice. We were just saying, Sean just ducked out for another drink, but we were talking about the rice crisis. The rices never actually eventuated.
Hey, that's true.
And Jezbot was talking about stockpiling rice, but it's readily available still. I mean, half of it's plastic, as we found out in another episode.
I did actually, and ashamedly will admit that I bought a big bag of rice.
Good on ya.
Yeah, but adding to the crisis? Or
for eating.
evading the crisis?
For eating.
Yeah, I know, but if we all take the toilet paper, the fucking...
Yeah, but a bag of rice, 1 cup.
But
you
go down the rice aisle, there's no fucking
true.
rice.
I know what you're talking about there, and that's why I don't usually participate in these panic buying. And in my defence, this was like really early in the piece. This is like everyone was already panic buying, and I was still living in town, and I just thought there was part of me that was like, I better just get something that lasts, just in case. Like I didn't get anything else. I just thought if shit really hit the fan, I've got a big bag of rice, and I wasn't adding to
That's what all the ladies say.
Yeah,
to the general crisis, because I didn't get it from your two major flippity sticks suppliers. I actually went to one of the Asian grocers where they sell it bulk, real cheap,
and it's way better.
And they had heaps.
Yeah, and it's like in those white sacks of rice, like it's a Hessian.
And it boils better, boys.
Does it?
Yep.
The bulk rice.
Yeah, you go get your classic sunrise, sunrise rice.
Yeah.
And starchy, very starchy. You gotta wash it off a fair bit before you give it the old boiler-rooney. But when we get the big saga bags, minimal rinsing. That's
this is rice corner.
Yeah, less starch. And that actually reminds me of a program I watched of a guy on the hunt for umami. Remember that? It's like the 5th flavor or the 6th flavor.
No,
What? What? So
Wait,
so
you
run
never
through the
heard of
flavors.
umami?
Can you run through the flavors and then add umami on the
you
end?
got salt.
Yep.
You got vinegar.
Pepper.
You got
No,
well, salt,
Salt and pepper.
sweet, salt,
salty, sweet, savoury.
vinegar.
No, that's in salt.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I don't know, like what. Yeah, how do you
Oh, so it's like a flavor base. So you got salt, savory.
sweet and
Sweet.
savoury and
Sweet.
salty and whatever you've got, those flavours that
Well,
you.
your tongue,
That's
boys.
4.
Your tongue.
Okay.
It has 5 areas of
Flavor.
flavor zones. So the back of your tongue is like the sour, or the sides are sour. You know when you have a sour warhead,
Oh, the sides tingle.
sides tingle. If a sweet is the tip of the tongue,
Okay.
back is vinegar. This is all from memory. Let's.
You're
see
right.
what-
I've just looked it up quickly. So the tip of the tongue is sweet. The back is bitter.
Uh-huh.
The front mid half is sour, and then the back half
Yep.
before bitter is salty. But there's another flavour profile.
Yes, this is what
Umami.
you're talking. Umami,
And
right?
there's other pictures here which show umami as is the main part of your tongue. The center of your tongue is umami.
So umami is like the Venn diagram of all the
Flavors.
all the flavors, and where
Conjoined.
it all meets in the middle is umami.
Is a meal.
Possibly
Because you're talking about like how platypuses have a 6th sense, right?
Right.
Look that one up quickly.
Psychic ability.
So they have an extra sense:
Okay.
touch, feel, sight, hearing,
Umami.
and the other one, and the umami.
Umami.
And it's got something to do with their tail, with the poison barb, or no, electrical sensors. They can
Pick up sonar.
sonar. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Is that because of the duck bill?
Yeah, the watery duckbill, and you know.
Do you
how
know-
did we go?
It says here that they have a unique 6th sense. It's as they waver from side to side. This is what they're doing with their duck-like bill. They activate their 6th sense, which is called electroreception. And this is when their mechanoreceptors, like touch receptors on their bill, are able to detect electrical charges from objects.
Boom,
So
Jezbot.
they can, taste
And that's
alive
umami.
Yeah.
No, I thought maybe I liked umami, like
I don't know what it is.
that it was.
I don't know
kind
what
of-
it is.
I assumed it was like I don't know, like soy sauce, which it is. But this guy's on the hunt for umami, and it turns out that umami,
We still haven't really
I don't know
described
what it is.
what umami
it's-
is.
if something tastes bad, it's got lots of umami in it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
Shit,
piss.
piss.
Oh, no.
That's ammonia and.
I mean, this is quite. I mean, I'm talking personally, like my taste buds sort of thing. But everything it turns out that I don't really have a great amount of time for
Yep.
is chock full of umami.
Can we see
So-
if the
So
the
yeah, let's
drink's
see
got
if
umami
this
in it?
basil seed and passion fruit Chinese drink has umami in it.
Okay, continue on. Continue on.
So it turns out that a lot of fermented goods are chock full of umami, and like the worst seafood, the more seafoody seafood you can get, and seaweedy stuff,
Sulfury, yeah.
seaweedy, shellfishy,
Scum of the bloody ocean.
Yeah.
Bottom
that sort of
feeders.
stuff is umami. And apparently chefs have been searching for this umami flavour for ages, and
Wouldn't you be looking to get rid of it if it's all the shit
They
bits?
just that's what it's like. They have
No,
they,
you got
they
to
revel in it.
You got to identify it so you know how to break the rules. Like if you know what the rules are, you know how to break them.
Okay.
So you need to find umami so you know how to use it.
Yeah,
or-
it's like jazz. It's the notes you
Yeah,
don't play.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you got to know the notes.
Yeah.
You just don't play them.
I didn't learn C.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just out of spite.
C major.
Just out of spite.
I have a keyboard where a C note doesn't work.
Yes, and I know how that keyboard broke. We're at a gig, and Ads Denukes and I were watching Tenfold perform, and you're up there singing, belting out a tune,
Yeah.
and you did a full belt back. Where you're going, like, just leave us alone. I don't know what you're saying. And you sort of flayed back and landed on your keyboard and busted
broke the keys up.
broke your
Different
C.
keyboard, actually.
Completely broke your C.
It's a different keyboard, but I did. That was because I
We
put so
laughed.
much effort into my performances
did.
that I used to hyperventilate after.
If I could
big
leave me
notes.
alone.
And I'd sometimes fall over. I fell off stages.
Oh, I've seen it.
yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I love the one I was watching you boys, and the guy does the stage dive. He was like pursed MAGA, and he did the old
my
stage dive
God.
with like there was 25 people there in the
Oh,
audience.
big crowd.
Oh, can I
Recall the.
Can I tell you the story? It was one of those stages which was like, it was just it was a put together. It was probably milk crates underneath, and it had like MDF, and it had
Chipboards, yeah.
chipboard, and it had all different levels going on. It was motley.
It's not to code.
It was
You
a
could-
Frankenstage.
Frankenstage, right? Yeah. And this guy got up. It was our first performance of this particular band.
Yeah.
act.
Multi-phlegm.
No, it was Tranquilite.
Skin biscuits.
Skin biscuits. And
As Sergeant
the guy-
Pepper's Lonely Pepper
salt,
Brand.
salt and pepper based band. He ripped his shirt off, and he jumped up on stage, ripped his shirt. This had like, we're talking like bent nails and screw-os and things at different level. Lots of chipboard. Lots of chipboard. And the chipboard edges, you know how it starts to...
Recycled chipboard, yeah.
Yeah. And this dude whips off his shirt, does a full-on backspin, shreds his back, right? Fucking shreds his back. And then got up and went, yeah, Duff Gardens, hurrah! And then jumped out into the crowd where no one wanted to get covered in blood-o.
Yeah.
So everybody stepped aside, whether they were even there.
Yeah.
They
the first
weren't.
place.
They weren't. I was off to the side.
And this dude...
Well, it was pre-COVID, but it was post-AIDS.
Yes, that's right. And he did a full Superman. From Superman to a Jesus Christ.
frog pose. Jesus
Frog pose. It's a Jesus frog pose. Right? And
Which is the sound his head made when it...
he hit the deck, already bleeding, and fucking annihilated himself. Broke his cheekbone, 3 ribs,
teeth.
had shredded his back. Fucking, it was carnage, like vomitous.
And this is why the French do it right, and the Europeans they
use their tongue.
They introduce alcohol very casually at a very young age.
Okay.
The sippity doodah here and a glass of wine there, and
Le casual.
so by the time you get
Liberty.
liberté,
Le freedom.
and all the good things of French,
Baguette.
croissant,
Oui, papoose.
the skunk.
Hey, do you know what? Just on
French
a side note,
toast.
what I
Well,
like,
yeah.
it's still not it's not politically incorrect to do the French voice,
Isn't it? Okay.
No, well, you're not punching down.
Okay.
aren't you?
No, because the French were colonizers and were world dominators at one
we
stage.
got
Okay.
Napoleon to thank for that.
Yeah,
we
and-
can still
and-
take the piss out of French because of Napoleon.
Yes.
I think his plans backfired.
Waterloo. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, drip feed your younglings.
Yeah.
So the first time they go out and they hear Tenfold and the sick boots of DJ Rolling
Of skin.
scratching.
What did you call us? Uncircumcised skins or something? Is that what you called us?
And so they don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Day one. Like, so first bit of freedom, first gig, think you can get away with backspinning
Yeah.
and crowd diving. Because he saw
back to jail, mate.
in his head, he saw 100 people because he's seeing double.
He saw that Beach Street scene where they're all coming in.
Oh, you mean with the Prince guy that was Prince Light?
Prince Light.
Diet Prince. What was his name? Turbo? Or...
I actually think it was Prince. No,
No,
it
no.
was. No, Turbo. It was Prince Light. Is he?
Was it Turbo? Who's the other guy? The guy with the, like the whack moustache.
Oh, Prince Light is the other guy that just died. Actually, there was Turbo, there was that chick, and there was
guy.
the other guy, the Spanish guy, Prince Light. All right, so give him a little bit of a less sippity doodah. If my French
Yeah,
is correct.
that makes sense. That makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
It's just like everybody post lockdown, even seasoned drinkers.
Yeah.
Going to lockdown and came out first night on the town, and then everybody ended up in a bit of strife.
And the way I introduced my crack habit Like I would just do it small. It's a little bits of crack at a time, little bits.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And then you build up to the full blown.
A pebble here, rock there, a boulder there.
A shard here, a shard there.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But yeah, don't do PCP, don't do meth, don't do any of those drugs.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
No, don't go to school.
Don't go to school. You'll probably get COVID.
Yeah.
You're not going to learn anything.
No, not on my bloody watch. Not if I was your teacher.
I'd like to bring something up that I haven't really talked about, but my burgeoning, is that the right word for it? My burgeoning voiceover career on Kiss FM. You want to hear the sultry sounds, the velvety sounds of Jezbot's voice.
Yeah, you're listening to him right now.
Listen to Kiss FM, not the Kiss FM commercial Kiss FM, the dance Kiss FM.
Not that one. That one.
And you'll also hear DJ Relic on Thursdays between 9:30 or 9 and 10:30. What you want to do is get the app, the Kiss Dance Radio app. Yeah?
KissFM.com.au. And then you can stream it from there, or you can get the app. It's great.
Yeah, and
we're on every week.
DJ Relic and cohorts are on the radio from 9 to 10:30.
Yeah, because we've been recording them at the latest gig that I've been playing, and so we're doing live recordings, and then we're sort of the hosties with the mosties. But I've been playing down at the old Chapel Street, and like I mentioned in another episode that. There's phenomenons that are happening in the scene. And I was out in the alleyway packing up my gear, and I've looked over the rooftops of Chapel Street over this alley, and I can see a red light that's just floating there.
Ah, I love it so far.
And I've always got my look on. I'm always got.
You're always gazing. You're always gazing.
I'm always having a good gaze all the time. And I see this thing float.
You've seen it?
I did seen it, right? And you can see the little red dot there. And it's floating. And so in true form, and what I've learned from any kind of viewings, you got to grab whoever you can fucking grab and go, look at that. What is that? What is that over there?
Is it a bird?
Is it a plane? Or
is it a drone?
Well, it turned out to be a drone, but that's not the part of the story, right? What the story is that I called over a 20-year-old dude, and just picture your classic flannel hipster type dude. He's got a moustache, blonde moustache,
but it's not a fully grown man's moustache.
No, it's a full grown man's moustache.
Oh, right.
And he's got a cap on his head, red cap, which is loosely fit. It's just like sitting on top. He's a bit of a hipster, this guy.
Yep.
And I would say hip to it, right? So a likely candidate for
a good back and forth on UFO conspiracies.
UFOs.
Yes,
correct. So I say, what is that? And this is looking at the world through the blind's eyes, okay?
Or through rose-colored glasses.
No, well, he looked up in the sky and he goes, ugh. And I went, what is that? What is that? It's not a helicopter because it's not flashing, and it's not a plane because it's not moving. So what is it? And he said, yes, well, I think it's a light anomaly which is created from the spill from Chapel Street.
The classic swamp gas.
Classic swamp gas scenario. But what he was saying, it's a light anomaly. So I said, so are you telling me it's not a UFO, it's a mirage?
It's not actually there.
And I said, and like I was saying, like if it was a mirage, we're both seeing the same mirage, right? So that's even more fascinating than
that only happens in
UFO
a Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck duo, and they're in the desert and they both see the mirage.
Okay, right. Rabbit season, duck season.
Shouldn't have taken a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Yes, that old chestnut. So he saw a light anomaly from the light. And I said, nah. Can we at least go to drone before we go to mirage? And so he was not interested, right? Not interested. And I watched this thing for a while, and it was clearly a drone, acting like a UFO.
Yeah.
And it came straight over the top of us, and I grabbed one of the other guys, and I said, boys, come over. It's coming back. Come and check this out. What is it? Because it was much closer. And the other guy, his analysis was, he looked up and he went, yeah, I think it's a smokestack or a chimney.
Oh, or a crane.
And I said, it's a fucking red light, dude. No, I think that's from the chimney.
There's no chimneys out there. Okay, well,
It's a floating chimney.
The same thing happened, and this is what we talk about with future prediction. Like when the disclosure, the aliens actually land in the fucking footy field, and you're watching it live on TV. You're not even going to believe it then. Like, case in point, Wilson's Prom, one of our classic
UFO sightings.
UFO sightings.
In a group.
Like 12 of us, and I'm taking a piss in the ocean, or Tim is, and we're looking up. It was one of us, and say, what's all that stuff going on in space up there? Like where the satellites should be, but like moving back and forth and like over.
It's like down and going down in a line and then going up and weaving through the line it sort of created.
But out of our firmament, out of the dome. Definitely in space, right?
It's definitely in space.
And we're watching it, and everyone comes over, and you can see the reality setting in, or the wall come up in some people's minds where they are seeing the same thing that you're seeing, just like the red light. And they
smokestack it.
Refuse to see what you're seeing. They say it's an illusion of your eye. It's the smog or the frost and the stars.
Or it's a firefly closer to us, and you're just seeing it.
You're seeing a firefly
close to us, and you think it's out in space because it's so small and so
depth of perceptions.
Yeah. So we see this a bit in society today, in terms of double speak. So is this an example of double think, where people are just like, oh, that is something, and I'm just going to open myself into territory which will expose me to ridicule.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much.
And what they're calling is, like, you've heard this one, the gaslighting. Everyone's saying gaslighting. And it's like, that's a play from the 1940s about this husband that convinces the wife that he's not trying to kill her, even though she's going, I know you're trying to kill me. I think it's something based around that. And it's like... Yep. They're gaslighting you right as you're seeing it.
Replacing reality with their own reality.
You're seeing the UFO land, and they're saying to you, you're not seeing what you're seeing. And that's called gaslighting.
Yeah. It's a chimney. It's a light anomaly that's created by the fusion of the interference of light coming off Chapel Street.
Yeah.
And turning into a little red dot, is it?
And what they love to do is the horizon, the ship on the horizon, and when there's certain, I'm making this up as I go along, but there's a fact. It's a certain spectrum of light that hits the horizon and hits the ship and makes the ship look like it's upside down.
Or floating.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Floating in the air, but it's not.
Yeah,
and you can sometimes see cities floating because it's
or mountain ranges.
Yeah,
it's not there.
It's not there. You're not seeing it.
Can't see it. Can't see it. So what will it take? What's it going to take? Would it take a shake?
No, it's going to take.
Is that what you do? You shake the person.
It won't be in full consciousness of the community until today, tonight, or
covers it.
Yeah, until Channel 9 or Herald Sun goes, yes, aliens are real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Until it becomes approved groupthink, they're not going to accept it.
Approved groupthink.
And by the time they approve the groupthink, we're all thinking,
something else.
Yeah, it's something they're
yeah.
I like how the news grabs something that they know can't deny is happening, but they rebrand it. Rebrand. It's like, oh, this is happening, but it's actually this.
Yeah.
And it really loads people up with their arguments. The same people that refuse to believe.
Give us a classic example.
You see a protest.
Yes.
And then you attach a different...
You see the footage of a peaceful protest, and then by the time it gets onto the 6 o'clock news, it's
a violent breakout.
Violent arrests were made.
Well, a protest is a good example, just to go there. Just to be on topic, the anti-Max. We've had these protests recently, which have basically been pro-choice, pro-freedom, are only relative to these Maximuses, because that is a hot topic at the time. But it's not about anti-Max. Now, this brings me back to something that I spoke about in the last episode, how we were just paraphrasing things, or we called out certain elements of the future in our That's Future episode, where we said that possibly that the outcome for the future might be disease related, and that was 8 to 10 months before we were actually in the midst of a disease, quote unquote crisis. But I did on an episode, and I don't know which number it is, I'm still looking for it, but we actually talked about how I noticed that there was a few things coming up in the news that I just thought that they were popping up a bit too much. And it just seemed like, to me, that it was like a narrative that was being sculpted. But we didn't know what.
And that's exactly right. Like we always say, they'll sculpt the narrative with the movies they play on free-to-air, like... that during the COVID stuff.
Die Hard.
That's a good Christmas movie, the best Christmas movie, some would say. But during the early COVIDs, they would play Outbreak.
It was on 6 months leading up to it.
Yeah,
as well.
and also the Cloverfield, or the one of those fucking ramping us up to, this is what's about to happen. Get ready for this.
Yeah, but one thing I noticed was what got my attention was like all this coverage that Flat Earth was getting.
Yeah, it did.
And how it was like this
spike,
legitimate movement
Yeah.
that we sort of had to be concerned about. And I'm sure that through it having exposure, it might have influenced more people to feel that way. But I don't know how many people were actually thinking about that at the time. Because I know a lot of people that are willing to think about things freely, and I've never met a genuine flat earther.
Well, no, that's right. They were leading us to believe that there was a true movement of people that actually believe in flat Earth. And when you really look back at it, like you're saying, I don't know anyone that honestly truly believes that.
No.
And it seemed like that narrative was a device to get us to either question science or to...
I think it's a ploy. I think it's a ploy to say anything other is crazy.
Yeah, I think it was,
This
and
is
like I
crazy,
said at the
the
time,
others think.
Yeah. If you don't think Darwinism, natural selection,
Round Earth,
you
you're weird.
you idiots.
well, that's the thing. That's the point that I was trying to make at the time. That it seemed like that they were trying to create like a clearly fallible
smoke
conspiracy theory that attracted nut jobs and was easy to look at as a bunch of nut jobs. And then they proceeded to attach every other conspiracy theorist.
It's a warm up.
That.
It's a warm up.
But one thing we didn't notice at the time, and this is a long time ago, I noticed there was that subject, there was another subject, and I also said I noticed that anti-vax was making a comeback. And I specifically said, I don't know why, go and get your kids vaccinated, you mugs.
And that
you
was the
said that on
episode
the-
you were looking for. Yeah.
And I said that. I said, but it seems like it's connected somehow. And here we are. Now we have these protests, and you see it on the news, and it's always touted as anti-maxers.
Yes.
Yep.
You're an anti-maxer.
Yeah.
And that's my own self-censorship, because otherwise it'll probably get censored. Otherwise.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
But there we are. We're now, but how that's portrayed in the news is as like these anti-max protests. And you know what? That you would find that the vast majority of those people weren't in the category of anti-maxers that they were sort of bringing attention to back, 12, 24 months ago.
And
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
and they're right, they're doing that now with Puanon, because I don't want to say it,
Yeah.
the word, but they are linking now, like, everything is instead of saying, an Alex Jones conspiracy JFK and all that, that's all really old school stuff, but doing the flat earth thing is a way for them to link any kind of
Kookiness.
fringe, maybe anti-government or anti-establishment idea
Yep.
to a QAnon or a flat earth. They get everyone's mind to go, anyone that thinks outside of the norm is a QAnon or a flat earther.
Yeah.
And it totally discredits any kind of research or... Fuck, we know the CIA brought in the cocaine. We know that the light globe cabal... They went from 10,000 hour light globes to fucking 1,000 hours worldwide over 5 years. And it was because they bought up all the light globe factories and said, these little globes aren't getting replaced enough. Make them shitter. Inbuilt obsolescence or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. A lot of inbuilt obsolescence. I think I've got some.
I think this podcast is.
And then there's a salts conspiracy. Wasn't that one we came up with
Unsalted
as well?
salt?
No, where they just they wanted to create a salt crisis, so they blew the side out of the Saxon table salt building.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Spilt out, didn't it?
That's right. That was molten salts.
Molten
salts.
salts.
So it was an episode that Sean brought this clip up where the molten salt factory wall wasn't secure enough, was it?
No, they lost.
And you pile up enough molten salts against the wall, eventually it's going to collapse.
Yeah, it's just strange that they would stock so much salt up against
But
a brick
it's
wall.
that one grain of salt that broke the camel's back.
Would be, yeah. And isn't that a metaphor for?
Isn't it for everything, Tim?
Yeah, but that's just an example of how realities can be slightly twisted into a gaslighting experience.
Wow. That's deep.
Full circle.
That is deep. And what do you do with all this? Why are they hoarding all the molten salts?
Why are they?
Because it's so bloody expensive. It's trendy.
But is it expensive, or are they making the market? So
Are they making salt? Are they
there's
mining? They're mining it and shipping it.
plenty of diamonds and there's plenty
Yeah.
of gold, and silver. But you falsify the value of it.
Yeah.
So
create the impression of scarcity.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We did
They
it.
do it with all sorts of products. Get people trying to line up. I mean,
Toilet paper.
toilet paper. They do it with, like designer sneakers. They get idiot kids buying the same sneakers with a slightly different color pattern or something, and like, your normal version that they're $150, which is probably too much. But get the ones with the the symbol on it backwards, and they're $5,000.
Yeah,
And there's
the
only
base
100 of them.
5,000.
And you know what? That they really started to get slack, didn't they? The shoe companies, the kicks companies, where they would just say, "Look, here's a white shoe with a bunch of textures, and you just color them in like."
And you pay extra for that.
Yeah, we give you a Posca. Is that a?
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's
They still use them.
But how do you create the impression of scarcity for a product? Do you say that if you don't have it, you'll die, and everybody wants it so bad they're not letting you have it?
Well, you do a simple Beach Boy scenario, payola grift, where the Beach Boys just bought up all their own records.
Oh, I thought you were going to say beaches.
No, well, they couldn't swim. One of them drowned or something like that.
Oh, wow. Painfully ironic.
Drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. But what they would do, what he did was, Brian Wilson or whatever, he would just, the single would come out, and he went to every record store, and he had like a trunk full of his own records, because it gave that idea of scarcity. Like,
Yep.
Now, unlike the what Ads and I did,
Clever.
we went around to like 15 or 20 JB Hi-Fis with our CDs and just put them in the rack.
Yep.
So, because the idea was that JB Hi-Fi, if 2 or 3 people order a particular album, then they have to stock it.
you just did like a CD
So-
photo bomb. It's genius.
Yeah. So then people would see the CD and go, "Oh yeah, give this a crack." Go up, they'd scan it. It wouldn't scan, and they'd type it in. That'd count as one search.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, "What is this? We can't find it." And they
We better
find the
get
category
this.
and they find it, and then
They order
They
it.
update their details because somebody must not have punched it
You
in.
get a very angry call from a solicitor saying,
Yeah.
"Stop putting all your
Cease and
CDs."
desist. But look, it never worked. They never stocked it. But look,
Look. Look. If I'm a marketing guy and I take you guys on as
you
as
do better than that.
I'll try to do something.
Right,
better
give
than
me,
that.
pitch me.
Well, you pay for spots. You actually pay radio stations to play your music at the right
Isn't that
time.
payola?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
So
that's-
that's how you get your music on the radio. Like you need to break through.
To the other side.
and YouTube's and the
Social media and all that.
Triple J, Unearthed and stuff. It's just a way to try to get ears on your product, and the best way to do that is to pay people
to put a
play.
step forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just gonna get lost in the endless supply of music, endless streaming service, endless artists, endless.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
You can't keep up. You don't know when your favorite artist has released their last album anymore. Like, I used to get right into Mike Patton, Faith No More, still love it. He's probably released 6 albums since the last time I bothered to look.
Found out. Yeah.
Yep. That's right. Because, youth stations, they They play youthful music. And like
Sticking with
your
the
other
thing.
stations that play your classic rock and that, they're just sticking to the classics. They're not diversifying into, what your new artist is releasing.
Well, I mean, Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac is still making money from that.
Yeah.
Trying
That's what you gotta do.
times
That's
in
what you
her
gotta do.
life. I think there was a bit too much cocaine.
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say start. Like your pitch to me was going to be like start writing songs that they can use on TV commercials.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I
like
tell
a
you
good
what,
KFC
tell you the-
ad song.
You're not
or-
diverse enough. You're anyway.
Speaking of Stevie Nicks, and I actually didn't get into this.
Steamy.
I think I'd only just mentioned this on an episode as we were closing, but I went and saw Fleetwood Mac
Right, good on you.
when they last played in Melbourne, and it was at a time of year, a couple of years ago, just before everything sort of shut down, and we were getting like an influx of brilliant international artists.
Yeah, we were.
Everyone was coming here to
we were.
play,
Yeah.
almost like they knew they weren't going to be able to play for a couple of years. But we had quite a few massive artists.
Yeah.
And that night was amazing. They played brilliantly, and they played with Neil Finn was
Fun.
Neil Finn was he played with them, and they
Go away,
played
wait, Sean.
Tim Sims.
Tim Fun's Tim Sons.
Tim Finn
Tim Finn eats his dindins at
diligently.
Tim Sims while Tim's chin's on the bin's rim.
Go on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
So this concert they played a couple of classic Crowded House songs. Don't Dream It's Over, which is a classic New World Order awareness song. It's bloody beautiful, and it really is. If you listen to it,
Don't dream it's over.
it's not the I don't know. I used to think it was like a love song or something. Don't Dream It's Over. But anyways, not get into that. But then later on in the show, it's sort of they had a intermission, and Mick Fleetwood stayed out playing his drums. And
So you say intermission, but what he was doing is a 15-minute drum solo that everyone goes, "Oh, I'll just take a piss now."
it
Yeah, that's
actually
right.
was a 15-minute drum solo.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
yeah.
Purely in the middle of it,
That's when the other singers go back and do the cocaine.
Yeah.
he started doing a call and response, which at this point the crowd's right behind everything that Fleetwood Mac's doing.
Sure.
It's a large crowd, obviously a bit older, but they're being as energetic as they can, and and right into it. But then he starts doing this call and response, and he starts off by going skibbity-boo-bity-boom. And again,
Skibbity-boo-bity-boom.
and then the crowd goes skibbity-boo-bity-boom. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
it was just scatting, and then do-do-do-boom-ba-doom-boom, and he goes
Do-do-boom-ba-doom.
babba-lubba-lubba-loo, and
Lubba-lubba-lubba-loo.
and then the crowd's getting behind that. And so once he realizes the crowd's all behind it, then he goes, "Release the wolves!" And then the crowd just goes, huh?
What?
What? And he's like, he's adamant. He's more than adamant. He's like, "Release the wolves!" You know.
And then we
the
go,
crowd-
and then we go.
Okay. Release the wolves.
Yeah, like everyone sort of got into it then. Yeah, like the wolves. Oh, shall we?
Okay, it gets embarrassing.
Yeah,
we
but
don't
anyways.
actually like your drum. Like we don't actually know your name, drummer.
Massively, release the wolves. Release the
And what
wolves.
was the wolves?
And I sort of left and then after that, he got out from behind his drums after the end of, when they do their little bow for the end of the program. And he's dressed up red, white, and black. And he's dressed up like a court jester.
Okay. I was expecting that.
And it turns out that he's
It's a
part
nice
of
twist,
part of
that's
a
him.
club called the Jesters or the Court Jesters
Okay.
or whatever. And they're a division of like a quote unquote Illuminati group. And they're like, this is, he is a part of it. And this crew, they apparently don't get up to mischief in politics. They stay away from the politics. They're all just about, it's like a boys
Gesturing.
club for having a good time.
And jesting.
Like a rich
Yeah.
boys club for having a good time.
Yeah,
But
do you know how
anyways-
rich boys have fun? They hunt humans.
yeah.
Yeah, well, who knows? I'm not getting into like any weird stuff, but I left that show saying, geez, that's peculiar. Like if that's this call and response thing, if this is some kind of like
Chant that you
like
like a spell that's being
I'm not going to say this stuff happens, but there's plenty of documentaries you can get into that suggest that these call and response activities are like a form of ritual.
Yeah, we
like a
did
conjuring.
that at CFMEU.
Yep.
The union leaders do a call and response. We're the fucking union. Come on, boys.
We're the fucking union.
And we won't take it. Now, is it contractually? Is it in a contract for this drummer? All the other Fleetwoods and the Macs are going, oh, fuck. Well, they're taking their 15-minute allotted union time. Of going, all right, we've got to have our union break.
Time to be Fleetwood slack.
Yes, Fleetwood slack. And then the drummer, because he's a drummer, and he's like, I'm not appreciated enough. So I want, in my contract, if I'm going to do this next tour, I want a 15-minute solo every bloody show.
And then I'm going to do me Jester spell.
All I was...
not the Jester
I wouldn't
spell.
usually sort of bring this up, but all I was wondering at the time was that, I mean, it was peculiar. I said, it was the only time that the show was
Weird.
It was anything but entertainment.
Well, you had your Rihanna, you had your Steel Horses, you had your all the classic...
Massive classics.
Fleetwood.
And then you had the guy just as a
Mac.
jester trying to get
Dreams.
everybody to yell, release the wolves. It made no sense.
And there's not a song called Release the Wolves.
No.
Is there?
And I just said to the bloke that I was there with,
What's the bloody
I don't-
wolves?
not to look into that too much, but if he was playing it at anything sinister, that sounded bad.
Okay.
Like, it sounded bad. Like, release the wolves coming from, one of these guys. It's
And,
just
what if he's got wolves?
Yeah.
And it's a part of the show.
It's like Mr. Burns, release the hounds.
Yeah,
course,
I
of
don't know.
course.
But anyways, like, in hindsight, I
Good
don't
show.
know.
In
It was a great
hindsight?
show, but I don't know. Like, it was just saying it just sounded sinister and big and
And can I pitch the next show? It's called In Hindsight.
Yeah.
that's a good idea. We did that. It's called The Past. Oh no, in hindsight's a good concept actually, isn't it?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can-
We look back at all the stuff we've said on other podcasts, and we play the clip, and we go, "Yeah, in
hindsight.
hindsight,
It wasn't so right
probably
there.
shouldn't have
Yeah.
said that."
Yeah, that's right. And maybe we could say that about this section as well.
Yeah, well, I'll get it in the end.
Well, this is a good 10 minutes on Fleetwood Mac, so yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
No, that's right. But my point was that he was making a song and dance about something that could have. If it wanted, I was saying if you wanted to view that through those rabbit hole eyes and ears, then that sounded like a sketchy occultist ritual. And release the wolves doesn't sound too good.
it doesn't.
Sounds dangerous.
When have you ever heard Release the Wolves and been filled with confidence?
Yeah.
You know,
And he was just so
Hungry-
adamant. It
what
was
about
like, when
Duran
the crowd
Duran?
didn't respond, he didn't change tack like, oh, I'll go back to speaking gibberish or say something the crowd will get behind. He was like, nah, I want the crowd to say release the wolves.
Yeah, well, Duran, they're hungry like the wolf.
They are.
what if you backward mask that? If you played it backwards, Release the Wolves is like, buy our T-shirts.
Okay, well, I can actually do that right now. So let's say I'll do it, right?
Oh, really? You're going to edit that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, put that little
Okay.
note on your little...
Release the wolves.
Slow
Sailor.
Right, all
Okay.
together.
Oh, yeah.
Slow sailor.
I would put my game down, flip it, and reverse it, though.
Small,
You're
ma-
feeling better from the game?
small Madzilla.
I don't know what they're saying. I
It's a
don't know.
demon's name.
Yeah, it's
It's a
like,
demon.
no one ever says my name. No one ever says...
the tomb.
It's a classic young ones sample there, Tim. Callback.
Good
Very
episode of our lives.
And this is probably the longest session we've ever done,
Is it?
recording-wise.
Really?
Anyways, doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there.
Is
Went
it?
over to Coles. Never send a hungry man with an empty bag of
empty bag.
dreams. Because your little flippity stick supermarkets can fulfill all your snacking dreams. I went in and I got a classic standard. I never do this, but
Yeah.
I got a classic standard triple up. I got a crunchy bar. I got a violet crumble, and I got myself a Snickers. I said no Mars bar on this one.
Right.
Because I'm more of a honeycomb and nougat guy.
Right.
I'm all
'Cause-
about your nougat.
Yeah, because I like a good bloody summer roll. Remember them?
They're all nougat.
Yeah, that's all nougat.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'm a nougat kind of guy.
Well, you don't hear too much about nougat anymore. Nougat.
Nougat?
You keep saying it. It doesn't even sound like anything anymore. Is it real?
Yeah, I made my own honeycomb once. You do it, well, it's
Yeah.
like bicarb soda and this and fucking that. And you put it on a hot thing and it bubbles up and then you scrape it, dape it off and
Yeah.
plop it down into a...
So you get baking sugar, and
Something like that. You like caramelize the thing and the baking soda adds and it...
foams up,
It's
and
like
then
making crack cocaine.
yeah,
Exactly. but you know, with a taste that can't be beat.
Yeah. I've listened to rap music. I know they use baking soda and hot
Yeah.
plates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're hip to the street.
It's funny that you've actually brought up violet crumbles because I've been getting into the violet crumble lately. It's proudly Australian made and owned,
right.
and it's one of our first confectionaries, if not the confectionery, but another legitimately Australian confectionery which we know about. You usually only get at the Royal Melbourne Show. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Pavlova,
The wagon wheel?
Melbourne Show.
Yeah. I know the Melbourne show.
hot jam
But
donuts,
we're trying to work out what it is.
dim sims, because I know that's
Tim
not,
Sims.
Dim Sims is not a. I think that's a Victorian thing.
I think it is. But no, he's talking about confectionery. So
Confectionery, yeah.
what? Fizz Whiz.
No, Birdie Beetles.
Oh, Birdie
I
Beetles.
got your classic.
Yeah. The
Birdie
classic
Beetles.
Birdie
You get
Beetle
the Birdie
bag.
Beetle bag, yeah. And that's about like Birdie Beetles are pretty hard to find.
Well, it was
otherwise.
biggest bang for buck.
Yeah, well,
At the show. It's
they
They
like-
always say that, don't they? But do you know why that they're so economical?
What's that?
Ah, I do.
They have
it's
Beetles?
the offcuts of Violet Crumbles.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
A Birdie Beetle is a violet crumble off cut.
Yeah. Much like Vegemite is a byproduct of VB beers, which they managed to market as a tasty alternative to real breads.
To eating real shit.
Get down on this jar of black yeast, boys.
Yeah.
Surely that fucking black gunk at the bottom of that can make us a bit of coin, boys.
And obviously we all remember the Twisties were a breakfast cereal.
Yeah. Until they added the cheese. And we all know that Twisties in Italy are called Fonzies.
We all know that.
Yeah, so that just was a bit of a rebranding and marketing, and they managed to shape them into all the little biscuit bits, or the crumble, the violet crumble, the honeycomb bits.
Birdie Beetle.
Put them in a beetle-shaped character of
Can
the
we?
same
Can
violet
you?
crumble
Can you see
chocolate.
if? Can you look on your old little tricorder thing there you got in your hand, your phone? Look up Birdie Beetle bag. See if it were featured at the show in the last
Yeah, and what's
year
happening?
or so.
What's
Is it
happening
still-
with the show? Is it a virtual show? Because I know the Clayton Festival's a virtual Clayton Festival.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Is
how
it
you-
really? And what
Yeah.
do? You'll log on
Yeah, you log on
while
and
you're on the toilet.
Yeah, and you zoom into the Clayton Festival as if, like you barely go to the Clayton Festival in
Clayton.
real life.
Yeah, that's true.
IRL.
This is the first I've ever heard of it.
Yeah,
didn't
well,
know there
I
was
know
one.
because I asked you. Well, they were putting out submissions like for
Oh, you did say that.
DJs and stuff, and like bands, and I guess you'd do a stream session, set up
Nah.
here and record it, and then send it to them.
Nah.
That's what they want, isn't it?
Bonk that. I'm not doing that.
No, no one is. No one's. I reckon your Clayton Festival is going to have a maximum viewership of like 15, 16 people.
Yeah. Right, and of that, 8 likes.
At
That's
best.
the,
2
yeah.
thumbs up and 8 likes, but
Yeah.
15 people, which is a pretty good hit rate.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's got some traction.
It's got some purchase.
How you going over there with the old Birdie Beetle? Sick.
Well, there's no recent updates. It's really hard to find information on Birdie Beetle.
Give us a squidgery
But there's
doodle.
a Wikipedia read-up, and it just says it's a small Australian chocolate bar manufactured by Nestle. It consists of chocolate-coated bar containing small pieces of honeycomb that is shaped like an anthropomorphized beetle.
Do we need that kind of ruins the taste for me. Having that word in there.
It was
Do you know what I mean?
created as a way to use up honeycomb left over from the production of their violet crumble bars.
Bloody genius. Come in the office, Bobo. I just want to say,
Congratulations.
bloody champion of the week this
Yeah.
week. The way that you scraped that shit off the floor and sold it back to the consumer is it's just what we're looking for.
Well,
in this business.
that's a classic Dan Oz. Shout out to Dan Oz, long-time listener and podcaster. He was working for some company that had something to do with metals.
Yeah.
Right.
And week 1, when he gets in there, he realised that they were like the shavings of the metal were just going into the bin.
Yeah.
He goes, nah, boys. And so he organised some 40-gallon drums. And he just goes, look, don't tell
Collect
anyone.
all.
Just collect all the shavings.
Yep.
And they made, in scrap metal, like they had a party at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And all the head, like, scammers or recyclers got like a $600 each.
Wow.
Dan organised the party for everyone, and
That's the kind of party. A factory party is the kind of
So you
party
throw
that you wheel the big cake out, and the dancer comes out of the cake.
Oh, like
Do you reckon? A
Under Siege.
warehouse
that's Under
party?
Siege too.
Is it?
Yeah, you just did Under Siege too. But like that's the thing. The wasted product, the wasted offcuts of Violet Crumble turn out to be a bloody
Commodity.
a bloody mainstay in Aussie confectionery.
But I'm not seeing a birdie, and also I'm seeing wagon wheels have reduced in their
Size?
size. They're compact.
A full wagon wheel was a lot to get in. So it was a biscuit.
Oh, was your mouth smaller?
Yep.
That's what I wonder. Or did they actually?
Hand to mouth size was smaller. Wagon wheel seemed bigger.
Yeah.
It's funny that we're talking about this because I actually I ate a fun-sized chocolate bar
I ate a fish.
last week, a couple of
I won
weeks
a
ago, and I realised
I won a fish.
I know who is really behind the World Economic Forum's idea of the Great Reset. And it's not the World Economic Forum. It's not Big Pharma or anyone like that.
Who bloody is it?
That's Big Snack. It's Big Chocolate. Because
Big
if you,
chocolate.
Big
if you-
confectionery.
Big confectionery. Because if you go into your local flippity stick supermarket and get yourself a bag of fun size chocolate bars,
Yeah, they're not fun.
they're no fun. I mean, I've noticed that. So, like a bar, for a bar to be a bar, it has to be slightly elongated, like a rectangle, doesn't it?
Okay, so
It can't be a block.
Can't be a block. 'cause
It's
if
gotta be a bar.
If it's square, if it's a square,
So if you taper off the edges of a block, you got a bar. So
you
you
take-
think a bar
but
of
what do you
gold.
what's less than a bar? It's a piece.
Yeah.
It's a piece.
A portion.
A portion,
or a portion.
Okay, so a Hubba Bubba, like packet gum,
is
is a piece of gum.
It's a
No,
piece of gum.
But it
packet.
comes in a bar.
oh yeah, it's in
Or
bar
it comes in
shape.
portions.
It's wrapped as a bar.
It's wrapped as a bar.
Yeah.
My point is that upon inspection, opening one of the fun size snacks, it was no longer a bar; it was a square. And I realised that if they pandered to their shareholders for another year and they shave off a little bit more of that
Yeah.
bar, it's actually going to become a rectangle widthways.
Well, we know that the Cadbury's Big Block over the generations has become a smaller and smaller.
Is that how the
smaller block.
Toblerone was
That's
born? Is that why Toblerone in its pieces are triangle?
I don't know. I think that's
They're
to
actually
represent the
wedges. They're
Switzerland
called
Mountains, Tim.
wedges.
They're called peaks.
They're called peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went into that in another podcast.
Yes, we did.
No, we were repeating ourselves.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
constantly.
Constantly. But what we're also doing is not re-educating. We're
Reaffirming.
reaffirming that that it all makes sense.
And what we say matters. And what matters is what we say.
All right. I put this to Cassie and Sean. And I think you might have been involved with this.
Don't know.
I'm a Jelly Bean fan. It's my favourite confectionery. There, I've said it.
Right.
And I rated it. And you can play along at home. And in your head, right now, don't say that aloud, but rate the top 3 Jelly Bean popularity flavours. Like, okay? For mine, this is me. Mm-hmm. I don't want to influence, but Cassie said the exact same 3 flavours, but in opposite orders.
Okay, so should we
I go. Yeah, what you got to gain?
should we say it at exactly the same time?
Exactly. No, it was a trust. It's a trust
Okay, it's a
exercise.
yeah.
I go, my favourite colour is black.
Right.
Then I go white.
Okay.
And then I go a red.
Okay.
And that's my 3 Jelly Bean staples. Sean had the same answer.
I'd agree.
Okay, I would have said red, orange, and white.
Orange.
Yeah,
No black.
no black.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Not
I
much
was
of
going
that.
to say that.
You're wrong.
Yeah, right.
No, a lot of people don't like the black. It's the least favourite for a lot of
Cass,
characters.
name your 3 top Jelly Bean colours. Go. Shout it out.
White, black, red.
There you
See?
go.
Fucking told ya.
Not in the same order though. You said
same
black,
order, but-
black, white.
Pretty close. Same
Pretty close. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Am I still in there, Tim?
You sure are.
There you go. That's why you stick with the same person that knows all your answers. Like Cass and I had when we started going out, we'd go, right, if we're ever in the love game,
love game, yeah,
got to figure out your answers. So you go, what's your husband's favourite artist?
You go,
I said, okay, always say it's James Brown.
okay.
And then when I'm asking Cass,
I thought you were going to say John Bovey.
Ice Cube.
Okay.
For Cassie.
Right.
You have a classic standard answer
Yeah,
question
yeah.
sheet.
Throw out. Answer sheet. Cheat sheet.
Cheat sheet.
Yeah.
To make it sound like your relationship is
better than it is.
everyone else's.
Okay, but it really is like a heavy duty
Pretty
regime of
rehearsed.
rehearsals,
Rehearsal and
rewriting. Yeah.
I do love it though, so whatever.
Yeah, well, it works out. Bloody, it's all just black, yellow, and
Tar.
what would you say? Black, white, and red.
Yep.
In the end, isn't it?
Yeah, what's the price for those shows though? Don't you get a date with the person and
No, I think
Oh,
you
right.
got to. I think you got to outlove the other couple. Like we know each other back and front. We know I know her back. She knows my front.
Well, this is what
Yeah.
inevitably happens with a production of one of these reality shows. It's like you've got to have your villain, your hero, your antagonist, your all these characters, and you know, as long as you're not the arguing couple, that they're gonna play that up. Oh, this week Sharon and Jezbot fucking
couldn't get along.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you want to be the happy.
The one that everybody loves. The one that everyone's rooting for.
Oh, they know so much about each other.
I wish I had that with you. And then the problems start at home where they go, why don't you know what colour I like?
But here's what they don't tell you on the shows is
It's fake.
like, well, yeah, but Cass and I, any long-term relationship, it's a fucking 20-year slog of going through the shit. So you go on the show to make it look like you really know each other really well and like
Okay.
each other. It's a big farce. It's a
show.
fucking farce.
It's a love show.
yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, you've proved your love to her, I guess.
Yeah, well, she proved her love to me while I just said, say the thing that we've rehearsed.
Okay, yeah, good.
And she went, red.
He doesn't hit me.
Yeah.
Jelly bean.
Yeah, we're
It's
here.
a safe word.
That's right. Jelly bean's a safe word. That's right. And it's got different levels, you know, like the
Purple jelly beans, stop.
yeah.
Red jelly beans, keep going.
Keep going. It's starting to hurt, but keep going.
Yeah. All right, well, I think we've done it again. I mean, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah. I cleaned up the studio today to make it a little bit more comfortable. It looks like it motivated us to do 2 full episodes, so that's a good day's innings.
That's
wouldn't you
feng
say?
shui in effect.
Yeah, it
Mm,
is.
it
Right
is.
there.
See, I've got these two goons staring at me, and I'm staring at them.
Well, because you were wrapping it up, so we're waiting for your cues.
And once again, thank you for listening to Jumping the Turnstile. It's always a pleasure to have you on board. And as I say every week, I'm Jezbot.
Okay.
And I'm Sean enough.
They hop, they duck, they climb. They go through 2 at a time.
Jumping the turnstile. Jump the turnstile.
Jump the turnstile.
Leap over the turnstile.
Hop over the turnstile. I had to take me. It was like a ninja.
Jumping the turnstile.
And it's no small thing.
People have to jump the turnstile.
I definitely jumped the turnstile.
Jumping.
The turnstile.
I definitely would do it once, twice. I would do it over again. Whenever I believe I have to do it, I do it. I get away because there was no one there, so I figured it'd be just easier to jump the turnstile.
I've jumped some ferrets in my day.
I definitely jumped the turnstile a few times.
Jumping.
Turnstile, instead of just paying the $2.25.
That little technique, I pull the turnstile back like that. Boom, boom. My upper body is not moving, just my leg.
Jump the turnstile.
Jump the turnstile.
The turnstile. We are the antibacterial wipes. This don't even look sanitary.